Hey everybody, welcome back to Ideally Though.
Ideally, though.
I'm your host Erica, and with me is my hubby, my bestie, my butterbisco.
Yeah. What up out there?
How's your week been?
It's been pretty good, actually. Not too bad. A lot of internet stuff going on at work, mostly for me.
Okay.
Uh, and a bit of like bureaucratic shit I'm dealing with. But I'm happy to say we have like entered like the friends and family like phase. So like I get to invite you soon to the thing I've been working on for so long, and I'm excited. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, things have been pretty good. I mean, biggest thing though for this week, was my little man's
His
a
birthday. His birthday,
birthday.
yeah.
Yes,
Turned the big 8.
big eight. Yeah, big eight. It's crazy, dude. I okay. We already know, at least a lot of the listeners know, right? Uh, the daddy problems and abandonment issues, right? I've talked about this shit
You
before.
got more daddies than I know of,
I
and
mean,
none of them
but
been
none of them
around.
wanted to be around. It's weird. Was it me? Am I the
Yeah, you the problem.
problem? uh, but like 8 years with him have been like the greatest 8 years of my life. I've learned so much, but then I've also put so much in perspective for me to be like, dude, my dads were like dumbasses because I'm pretty fucking cool because this dude is awesome to me.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was great. His birthday was really fucking awesome, and I think he felt like a big kid.
Oh my god, he loved his birthday. We kept it so simple,
Yeah,
but he was just like, best birthday ever.
I mean, it don't take much for him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he likes Fortnite, so there's that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you get him a V-Buck or two, and he's happy. So
Yeah, and then he got to celebrate with his friends at school.
yeah, that was
So,
cool. I never
yeah.
got the chance to do anything like that as a kid. You're such a great mom. I've like never got the chance to do that stuff at all. Yeah, give the praise, right? But like, to see him like have this excitement for his birthday and all that stuff, like it's such
hmm
a different perspective. I like watching it vicariously.
Birthdays were a thing in our house. Like, you don't need to invite hella people over because it was like, so many of us in my house.
Hmm.
So we had parties. Um, so it's kind of weird when you were like, I don't really celebrate my
Yeah, it
birthday and
wasn't the
stuff.
thing.
And I'm like, who hurt you? What's going on? Like, I love my birthday. It's the one time you kind of feel like you're getting the attention.
Like I've had like when I was smaller, I remember at least maybe one party, but I was like a child, real small
Yeah,
kid, tater tot, right?
a tater tot.
And then as I got older, I had one significant one, which was like Michael Jackson theme. Shout out to Mama Duke, she did that one real well. It was
That's
cool,
cool.
right? Um, but it just never really also between those moments that I can sparsely remember. Not really a big thing.
Yeah.
But it has slowly become a thing for me where I'm like, hey, it's my birthday.
Yeah,
So
like me, I'll take a whole week off. Like
yeah,
I'm like, it's my birthday, it's
yeah,
my special
word.
weekend, whatever.
And to be fair, with it being our son's birthday, or passing or whatever, it's like he has kind of adopted that where it's like it's his birthday weekend and
You can't tell me nothing. Don't tell me what to do. I have an
yeah,
attitude. It's because it's my birthday.
it's great. It's great. So I mean, my week has been great. I mean, especially with that in totality, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to start with some housekeeping stuff.
Okay.
So, did you hear about Lizzo?
Oh, I haven't actually caught up on any of that. Give me the deets.
So I guess like paparazzi and TMZ called her outside of a studio and she's all smiley, but you could tell it's forced. And she's like, I'm doing good, I'm good, just working on some music. But you could tell like her life is crumbling.
Oh Jesus.
But I guess she is going to countersue those dancers.
Interesting.
She says she got a picture of them smiling and laughing at that cabaret in like London or wherever that where the male dancers were.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. There's
Hmm.
now it's a little bit of a split. I've noticed with people on the internet like, oh, if you got the picture, blah blah. But like, if you catch me smiling because I'm drinking or something beforehand,
Yeah.
before the assault or where you make me touch somebody, like that's not fair.
Yeah. No, that's definitely not fair. That's a weird like counter to. I have pictures of them being happy, but then also they can feel like they're forced, so they
Yeah,
have to like smile, like, and grit their teeth through it kind of
I
deal.
saw some audition or some documentary stuff where they were asking one of the dancers, like, "Well, you seem like you were happy." She was like, "Well, they told me I basically, or I had to feel like I was, or I was gonna
Right.
get kicked off."
It's kind of like what it reminds me of is like those sexual assault cases that got brought up against Activision, that big video game
Hmm.
company I was talking to you about a few years back, and things. It's like a lot of them were too scared to even stand up to say anything.
Yeah.
You
So
know what I
like,
mean?
how can you even hold that against them? Like, oh shoot, they was laughing at it.
Right.
How could they be really feel some type of way because they're doing it for you? Like, if Beyonce made me eat shit,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna smile and be like, "I love you, Beyonce. You're my god,"
Yeah.
and eat this shit.
You're my god.
All right.
It's great,
So
yo.
like that, I don't know how far that's gonna go into the lawsuit or that counter
That's
lawsuit.
nasty. That's pretty
It's
ugly.
whatever.
Ugh.
I don't
Grossness.
know. And then you know what? I thought I heard somebody say, or I thought she said that she's vegan.
Hmm.
How's she vegan?
I mean,
I don't know how that works.
I mean.
I don't know. Okay. Next. Okay, so Holly Berry. So she got a divorce back in 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this like white model guy.
Oh yeah,
And
no, okay, I remember now. Yeah.
they finally settled out of court. It's been 8 years.
God damn, that was a long
Yeah.
divorce.
So they both got joint custody, but
Mm.
she has to pay $8,000 a month in child support.
Disgusting.
I was like, why? If you guys got both joint custody, and if she
Because
makes
she's Holly
over
Berry.
$2 million on a project, he is entitled to 4%.
It's definitely because she's Holly Berry. So now we're going to end up seeing, if that's the case, right? What we'll probably end up seeing later on in her career, hopefully it goes well. But this is like, I'm just going by like today's Hollywood standards.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see like shittier movies and her in like those like on demand joints a lot.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? To just keep up her bread, but also pay the child support.
Or I'll be like, just give me straight under 2 million.
Oh, but oh god, that
That
just
has to be a low.
diminishes her quality of life. You
Maybe
know?
she can get. There's a loophole.
Oh, I would try to get a new
Yeah.
lawyer and find a loophole associate because that sounds like some bullshit. Look, I'm a man at the end of the day. You can get it out the mud. You can get it out the mud,
Yeah.
bro. And you was getting it out the mud before her.
Now, if we take her being Holly Berry out of it, we take her being a woman, him being a man. Do we still feel like it's fair,
No, I don't think it's fair at all.
or do you still not think it's fair?
No, I don't think it's fair.
Yeah, I don't either. Like that's why some people say like, "Oh, I don't want to get married because you leave."
I got a
So
best
happy.
friend who yeah, he is not looking to nah.
Yeah, and then when you leave, now I got to pay all this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she still covers all the insurance, the school fees for their
He
kids.
also is a like true blue, like stark believer in like the prenup though. So if he were to get married, it's like this is prenup down. You ain't taking shit.
You could put loopholes and things into your prenup. You could say if you cheated, or if I don't have a baby by this time, or if
Oh
there's
wow,
abuse involved.
I had
You
no
could
idea.
put whatever you want in your prenup.
It's good to know he listens to the podcast.
Yeah. So when it comes to prenups, like don't think like, oh, I have a prenup, so they can't get nothing. No, as a woman or
Mhm.
whoever, you can put in your own thing. You can negotiate with your lawyers to
Interesting.
put whatever you want in
That's
your
interesting.
prenup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Whoopi Goldberg was on Raven Simone's new podcast, the best podcast ever.
Oh, is that
Best,
what it's called?
yeah, I mean, it's the best podcast, but
Yeah.
it's called the best podcast ever. She was on there, and Raven Simone asked her a question that what I was thinking too.
Okay.
And she said, are you lesbian? Because you was giving off stud vibes.
Definitely.
I was like, same. I didn't think she was straight, but then
She
until I
was
got
definitely
older,
giving those vibes.
and I was able to get on the internet, and I was able to find out her like love interest in the 80s and Ted Danson,
Ted Danson, yeah.
and she had a daughter. She has
Yeah.
a daughter. And Whoopi was like, I've been asked this by so many people for so many years. She does have a masculine kind of energy.
Yeah, definitely.
The only time I ever felt like she kind of had a little bit of a feminine energy was like Sister Act.
Ghost.
Ghost? Do you feel like?
Because she had like she had like it was more of a like she could take care of herself, but she
Yeah.
was more feminine in Ghost.
When she played Dolores Van Cartier on Sister Act,
Jesus. Van Cartier.
because she said she's a headliner. She had the dress and stuff, and it was just a little bit, Jumping Jack Flash was not feminist.
Oh no.
Color Purple
She
was
was wearing
feminist.
jerseys. Like
So I don't know. Like she was Raven was asking the question that I've been asking for all my life.
yeah, I figured it as well. I
I
didn't
thought she was lesbian.
like it was early on, of course. It was like until you do the research and stuff. I
Mhm.
totally believed it at first in the beginning when I was but like yeah, now knowing that it's like it's just that's just her style, I guess, and just that's
Yeah,
how she just rolls and cool.
yeah, she just has a little bit of a.
It gave Wanda Sykes vibes though.
And you know what? I was like today years old, actually months ago. Found out that Wanda Sykes was lesbian. I didn't know Wanda
No
Sykes
shit,
was
really?
lesbian. No,
Oh no, wow, okay.
I did not
Yeah,
know.
years ago she had came out on her like a special or some shit.
I mean, it would be. It's not a surprise, right? You'd be
Not
like,
at all.
but I
You
didn't
got
know.
it. Like yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I like Wanda Sykes. I don't like her stand-ups, but I
I
like her
don't.
movies. A movie-wise, she's funnier to me versus stand-ups.
She's never been funny.
Are you tripping?
She's awful.
None of the Chris Rock stuff she played in. Chris Rock take her just like Adam Sandler takes all his friends. Chris Rock take all his friends with him, and Wanda's in a lot of stuff with him.
She can make a Chris Rock, Adam Sandler, whoever line and like make it unfunny.
No, she can't.
Yeah, she makes
it
unfunny.
She is funny.
Her delivery on everything is awful. You know the reason why
She's like a
laugh?
Drunk aunt.
You know the reason why? No. Okay, well,
she's like a stern drunk aunt that's just like I'm gonna tell her how it is, and it's funny.
So funny. I can't vibe with you. The only thing I really laughed at that she's done is Velma, and I didn't know that was her, and it's not really her. It's a cartoon.
Wanda's voice is uncanny.
I don't like her. I don't know what it is. She's just not funny to me.
Stand up, no, but yeah. TV, yes, for me.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Pootie Tang.
Nothing.
Down to earth.
Nothing.
You tripping.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, one of the last things I have to say, and I know you have something to bring to the 9 out of the 19 defendants in Donald Trump's election interference case got their mug shots, including Krusty Dusty Rudy Giuliani.
Krusty Dusty.
The former mayor of New York City.
The man who could sweat out a toupee.
I was like, what's that black stuff? He ain't got some edge control. And then the black kind, anybody who knows about the black edge control, and it cover up those edges that you don't got, and it started dripping.
That is great.
I think a lot of people, especially the gay community, is probably happy to see his mugshot. He did a lot of damage in the 90s.
For sure.
I think he was mayor from like 94 to 2001.
He's a nasty dude in New York for sure, right?
I think he used to be a lawyer, or well, I think he was Donald Trump's lawyer, but nasty man. I was good to see him.
It was treated like a normal citizen.
Yeah, looking mad.
He's this thug off the streets.
Right. There were some people who had smiles on their face. I was like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Because like that type of shit you're doing is like affect futures of like generations of people, like voter like interference and all that shit, election interference. And shit.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
But then screams out, y'all cheating.
Yeah, stop the steal and all that other bullshit.
But then this is what comes out.
Hey man, we got a mugshot.
Well, and Georgie, they definitely took their mugshots, and I was happy to see those mugshots.
That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Get these thugs and criminals off the streets.
Thugs.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay, so what do you got? You got something?
Yes. Just real quick. Yes. So, I'm sure somebody, and who's listening, and we've heard of the Fresh and Fit podcast.
I don't like them guys.
Yeah, me either. Not a fan. Don't like any other content, and I think a lot of it is like the incel red pill. There's a matrix, and it's after you. All that bullshit.
The misogyny. It's misogyny for me.
It's a lot of that. That's why I say red pill incel, because that just comes like looped in. You know what I mean? And their YouTube channel has been officially demonetized completely.
That's what's up.
By the YouTubes, and it feels good.
I love it.
I'm not against a bit of Schadenfreude.
Yeah, I like to see some people fail.
I like to see it sometimes. Like to see it get a little chuckle. Well, there's a little warmth in my tummy when I feel it sometimes. You know?
It just feels like some people feel like they're untouchable. They can say what they want.
Yes.
This is the real you. You got to pay for consequences.
Yeah, you can, and that's the thing. It's like, yes, you can say what you want at the end of the day. That's the freedom in America, and it's beautiful. I got it. You got it. Our kids have it. It's wonderful. But there are consequences to whatever the fuck you say and what you do in life. And life usually like supersedes like any legal shit. Like at the
Right.
end of the day, usually something happens. You know what I mean?
Man, karma
So,
always comes around, and I noticed for like people I know, I've seen
hmm
karma happen to them like this, and I wonder
yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah.
Why do you still act like an asshole knowing that karma is always for you around the corner?
Man,
It's never like weeks away.
and oblivious to it too, which
Yeah,
is
I'm like,
crazy.
do you not catch that this is karma, or you just think it's just a bad day?
So it's been like a interesting kind of like breakdown as I've watched them basically discuss why, and they've apologized to their fans.
Fuck them.
One of them started crying. I believe his name is Myron or Byron or some shit. He
Shut the
started
fuck
crying.
up.
He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, so don't quote me, but it was something of the like of saving kids was fun because I guess his prior job he was like a federal agent or some shit like that.
Sure.
But but
Sure you was.
saving those kids, that was good. That was great. That was fun. But saving you guys, like the men who are depressed and all that other shit out there, is better. And granted, now listen, I'll say this: there is a male epidemic out there with society and being lonely and all this
Yeah.
other things. That is true. A lot of men, like we said in the prior podcast, aren't taking their shots. Granted, but also are scared to take the shots because of what's been going on in the climate. I mean, and not knowing how to be social, and there is a depression thing and the wage gap. There's a bunch of shit that happens.
But why are you teaching them to be douchebags and
Exactly
look
my
at women a
point.
certain way?
You can't. There's a way to deliver those messages.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they weren't delivering them. They were very, very nasty on a lot of things. They did a lot of stuff with like young women who were very much not of the same. I'd say intellectual spectrum at
Yeah,
the end of the day. You
they
know what I
got dumb
mean?
ones that they can talk shit to
Yeah,
and then tell them to get out, and they
yeah.
couldn't back their shit up.
And very disrespectful.
Hmm.
It's like that Steven Crowder guy with the change my mind sign. He goes over to colleges and talks to like freshmen and shit
Hmm.
like that. Not the people who have been masters, and not the professors, and not these guys
It's the
who've been
undergrads.
it's the undergrads. So it's taking advantage of these people and getting the hype train and that to come behind it, that
Hmm.
steamroll. I'm so happy to see it fail now. Um, the crying on screen was great.
I did not see it.
The venue that they live in and film in is also kicking them out. They don't want them there
Wow.
as well. So it's just a lot of stuff. Like, look, I do want everybody to eat. Especially black people want us to eat. At the end of the day, minorities. At the end of the day, I want us to eat. But you got to do it the right way.
Yeah, because there are, and we've seen shows where you see this lonely guy listening to
Yeah.
auto tapes or watching podcasts, and then he goes and does something stupid because you told him this is how he should act.
Word.
So set a better example.
Set a better example.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's always Rumble.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's a platform they can go to, I guess, if they want.
That's
But that's
true.
that right wingy weird.
Yeah,
Like that's where all those like the outcasty people go. So
that is true, and that's where they give them gifts and like stupid ass
it's
shit.
yeah, man. They got that and cake or wherever the fuck they
Hmm.
want to try to go. But it's gonna be hard to rebuild. And maybe you can learn a lesson from this. Do
Yeah,
better.
do better, or you ain't gonna eat.
Amen.
So, do you want to tell the baby girls what we're gonna be talking about today?
All right, a little bit of a I guess an interesting subject. Fixer uppers and being a
Mm.
fixer in relationships.
I've been a fixer. I feel like a couple times. Have you felt like you've been a
I've
fixer?
been a fixer, and I have been in the beginning of our relationship a fixer upper.
Okay, so you feel like, uh,
You did a lot of fixing.
okay.
You did a lot of fixing.
I feel like, so I guess I'll kick it off. Before you, I've probably been in like 5 relationships.
Uh-huh.
Now, out of those 5, I've been in one serious relationship. The other ones were like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Because after that first relationship, which is like the first major relationship, it was like, okay, I know for the most part red flags,
Yeah.
and I know what I'm not going to deal with, at least for a long period of time.
Yeah.
You always go back and be like, I shouldn't even stayed in that for the 5 months.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, you
I
do.
even kick my butt sometimes thinking about past relationships where I was like, I was in that relationship for 6 months. That was so stupid.
It's so human to have those cringe moments.
Yeah, but people tell me like that was only 6 months. I'm like, yeah, but I can't get that time back.
Right.
So, but I have been a fixer intentionally and then unintentionally on a couple of those relationships.
Ah, I see.
So there was one relationship where I felt like I wasn't going to get into this relationship. I just felt like I was helping a friend.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know what the word is when it's the nurse and the patient
Naturing,
falls.
nurturing.
No, the patient falls for like the nurse.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean, but I don't know what I can't remember the term.
I don't know if it's like Nightingale or something like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was helping a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then they fall for you, and you're like, well, I'm single, and you really want to see this person win,
Yeah,
but you can't want it more than they do. So
that's
it
fair.
was, I think, with me being a fixer with that relationship, it was like, okay, let's get you a tie, let's get you some slacks and stuff. Let me show you how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
You know, and the gratitude that I was getting, it was nice. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. So I think that's what probably shot me towards being in a relationship because it felt kind of good to be like wanted
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
appreciated. Where I
Yeah.
felt like in the past relationship, I didn't feel like that.
Yeah. It scratched an itch. Oh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Um, and it I felt like it was like a little brother a little weird, um like helping that person out, and it turned into a relationship, and then I was like, why am I doing this? Like, I don't really feel like, and I'm naturally not, I am a fixer, but I don't want to be a fixer in my relationships. Like, I never intentionally, there are people who probably don't want to admit that if they look at all their relationships, or a lot of them, that they're the ones that's paying for the food, buying their man the clothes. Not that we can't do that for each other, but if you notice, if it's an 80-20,
Yeah.
then you are a fixer.
You're a fixer.
And I don't naturally like that because I had a father in my life, and my father provided
Yeah.
for 5 kids at a time.
Yeah.
So I wasn't used to um, feeling like I had to come out of my pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I did come out of my pocket with this relationship, and I was just like, oh my God, I feel so good helping them because I want to see them on the right track.
Interesting.
It was more than being in a relationship with them. I think I put that in the back. Like, I guess I'm in a relationship, but I want to see this person out of the mud.
It's almost like you want them to win.
Yeah.
The underdog kind of story.
Yeah, because I really believe that they were such a good person, and I was like, oh my God. But I think on the other end of that, it was like, she's helping me, and maybe it's like, I think I really want to be with her because she's doing what other people are not.
Yeah.
But I noticed that you can only help people so much. And if you keep going down that path, you're going to notice that you're getting pulled down a little bit more and a little bit more
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. See, your expenditure in this, or at least in that relationship, and during that moment in time, was money. Mine was time and other relationships.
Okay.
So I was definitely a fixer for my last real serious relationship, and in that one was like, because there was a lot of physical stuff at home, you know what I mean, and drunkenness and stuff like that, and just abuse and things of that nature. So there's been scuffles, like actual like fights I've been in, you know what I mean, to like try to like, I felt like it was like an honorable thing.
Right. Like, you did it at home, so you're like, I'm going to do it in my relationships if it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you're trying to protect your mom, and then it kind of falls into your other relationship.
It's essentially because it was like, I also want to caretake, you know what I mean? So then like there is that like, oh, you're wounded, let me like help you because I can help you, or I know how to help you.
Yeah.
And my mom has always taught me to be nurturing. She's nurturing in her own right, maybe to a degree where it's really bad, but smothering and abandonment. But like to a certain degree, like with that, I definitely spent so much more time dealing with her problems instead of fixing any of that I had in life, which then caused other things in relationships with other people to like wane. But then also it was like I had to drop everything immediately if it wasn't for her, or like immediately do the thing she needs. It became that.
So like, if you're doing something with friends and she calls,
Gotta go.
then you gotta go.
Gotta go.
Did you feel like,
because it was like a need, like I need you, and again it's that want, you know what I mean, I'm needed now.
You're needed because you never been needed,
Hey,
or got the
feeds
attention.
right into, like I said, scratches an itch. You know what I mean? So like it feeds right into
He was playing Captain
that.
Saberho.
So like, oh yeah, definitely.
And you felt good about it. So did anybody ever rag on you like, no, like,
Yeah.
don't leave this bitch is calling you.
Shout out to BK. Yeah, yeah. I still get shit for it. So
So you would be like, no, I gotta help my girl.
yeah, yeah. It was a lot of that, and it just wasn't. It wasn't healthy, which turned into like resentment later because like that ended up like it got to the point where I fixed enough to like get her to move in with
Also,
me,
she moved in with
you
you
know,
guys.
and we were like
Okay.
living together for 2 years and shit. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I'm with me, I'm a Cancer, so I know that I naturally want to nurture and help people.
Mhm.
I will give you the shirt off my back if I feel like you need it.
Yeah.
And it all depends on the vibe too. Like I know when someone needs it or someone's just saying, you know what, because I know I can probably get it from her, I'ma just spend this money and then call it later. I can sense that because we have people like that all the time in our lives, our families that they can get it, but since they know that they can always come to you, I'ma just fuck this off and then I will shut that down.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
shut that down. But I feel like in every relationship I have tried to nurture something or try to help someone out because I'm noticing most of my relationships I've been more of a provider. Like I
Mhm.
made like I've had boyfriends. All my boyfriends had jobs. Not all of them. No, not all of them. There was at least a couple that did not. But I always tend to make a little bit more money, and it was like it's whatever, you know. I just always wanted the equal. I wanted a balance.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So the moment I see it, because I've had a relationship where, oh yeah, I'm about to get a job. Oh yeah, it's those talkers, those dreamers, but they never do anything.
Uh-huh.
I had to catch that and be like, okay, yeah, I want to step back
Yeah.
because I have a daughter, I
Yeah.
have goals,
Yeah, yeah.
and if I go down this path, if I don't pay attention to these red flags,
Mhm.
then I'm gonna be poor just like you. I'm gonna be trying to, I would be trying to,
I'm gonna be
because that's what
brokey.
happens. Oh, can I need $500. I need $200. They don't care about what's going on. They're like,
Yeah.
once they know that you are willing to
Their
provide.
needs supersede yours
Yeah.
always. Yes.
And it's more with them knowing that you love them so much too. They're
Yes.
like, oh, okay. It just makes it easy for them to ask. But that's a red flag for
It like
me.
literally rides that line of abuse.
Yeah.
Mine reached abuse. Like that encroached in that abuse range. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the same relationship I've mentioned on the pod before, where the knife was at my chest, right? So
Yeah. It got crazy.
it got crazy. Had to get restrained. You know what I mean? So like, um, it's it's just that having the capability of fixing, it's it's a double edged sword because
Mm-hmm.
you're doing a good thing, but it's detrimental to you, right? It's finding that balance, and that balance it really is building.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Like you need to change it from fixing to building.
Building, yeah, because with me, if I don't see that you're working towards something, I don't mind coming out of my pocket for anybody, especially in my relationships,
You
because
done
I
it.
feel like it will one day be, and people think, and it is low key it's transactional in your relationships.
Sometimes yes,
There are gives and takes.
there are.
Um,
There's compromises and transactions.
right.
Yes.
But if I start seeing that it's unbalanced, I'm really big on walking away.
Yeah.
Peace. I don't like that. I don't, especially for a man. It's something about a man not coming out his pocket, me always having to pay. When the man's not paying because if you go to a movie theater or something, or you in a store and the woman coming out her pocket, and he right behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. That's how you know the man ain't got no money. You like, oh damn. And I refuse for that to be a continuous thing in a relationship. That's why I'll be like, oh, don't do it. Don't come behind me because I'm feeling like sugar mama right now.
That's funny.
Don't come.
I do that with you, and I'm like, wait, no, but we make really good money. Like
We do it together, and as long as you're willing to do it, then I don't mind coming out of my pocket. Like in our relationship, we are both working, and there are times where it's not going to always be equal.
no,
Sometimes you're going to be working and I'm not, or I'm going to be working and you're not,
yeah,
or you're bringing more money home, I'm bringing more money home.
right.
And I've
It's
never
been that way
been,
before.
and most of my relationships I made more money than, so I don't care about that.
Right,
But as long as there's a balance.
right,
There's
right.
a balance.
Fixing it to or changing it from fixer or fixing to build. It leaves culpability and accountability on the other person to put
Mm-hmm.
in on something, right?
Yeah.
I can't build this relationship or this thing alone. So like putting that accountability on that person, if they do or if they are invested in it, they change from being the fixie or the one that needs to be fixed to okay, I can build something with this person. I have something
Mm-hmm.
here. I can nurture it into something.
Right.
And that's how you eventually grow, right, in the relationship. Did it take me a while to see that shit? Woo! It took a whole knife to the chest to see that motherfucker one day,
I
right?
think
But
what happens with us too is that you start creating bad habits for your partner.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah,
because you're like, I'll pay for it. And they don't feel the need to have to, well, I mean, they're going to pay for it. So what's the point of me having to get up
yeah.
and do it? And for men, I'm sorry. I know this sounds like a double standard, but I always feel like a man should work, So,
I, but that's not a double standard because I also agree with you.
well, sometimes it's like, well, women love to say, like, women can stay home, but men can't. And it's like, well, but
I've
I think that if anything, it's how your relationship works. But in my relationship, I think the man should be working.
but I come from that as well. It's like I said it with the Holly Berry thing and housekeeping, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get it out the mud.
Yeah, you're a
You
man.
do. You can get it out of the
Mm-hmm.
mud. Like I mean, it's not. I could say it sucks to say, but
Mm-hmm.
then also as a man, it really doesn't. But like society's kind of built for us, right?
Yeah.
Like we can make it out here. We can make it out in these streets. So if you could clean up enough, get enough education, talk to a right person, be in the right area, you can get an opportunity.
Yeah.
In most cases.
And I like how you said Bill because even in our relationship, it was like, well, you wanted to do video games.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, take some time off because I believe in it and I see what you're doing.
I also proved it. That's the thing.
It's not well, I'm trying to do this and I can really spot out the talkers really fast.
Yeah.
Those ones who talk the talk but never walk the walk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, you can take some time off because I believe I'll steer this boat for the time being because I believe in what you're gonna do.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know. So even with it vice versa now, where I'm not working, it's like, but if I need to, like that working mindset has never left. I'm
It's
like,
never left.
well, put me in, coach.
I mean, what's up, work? How y'all doing out there?
Put me in, coach. What
This
you
is,
doing?
I mean, it's the again. You did feel a lot of like the gaming dream, right? Which it then like became this entire thing with me and my best friend's brother. Like I mentioned the quiver before. Like we have become like an actual like a thing. You know what I'm saying? We're working on stuff together. You know what I mean? Slowly but surely we're getting there. But you allow that like to happen. In the same respect, I gotta do the same thing for you, but also it's like as the man I want to work. I want to be the one that also kind of like provides and do just because that's what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a double standard in that if you agree upon it. You know what I mean? Like we do. It can be recognized as a double standard for sure. I mean that's why Fresh and Fit used to exist. But like
fuck those guys.
But like to the same point, I don't know if I side with it at all. I mean, maybe it's circumstantial. It can be that way. Uh, I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? I'm a man. I can get it out of the mud. I'm gonna be all right. Let's do what it do. And it's recognizing that you can build with another person allows you. If you can make that like critical thinking choice at the end of the day, you're good.
Yeah.
Like then you can start doing it. You'll get past all the other hurdles like along the way. You know what I mean?
I wonder when people stop and think, okay, when am I gonna stop being a fixer?
I don't know if they do. I think there's a bit of comfort in that. It's like relationships where there could be physical abuse that's disguised as love. You know what I mean?
Okay.
In that way, kind of keeps you at it's something you're familiar or comfortable with. That can go back to like household traumas and shit, seeing it at home and things of that nature. You know what I mean? I mean, like like you said, it did feed into the abandonment. I
That
was
makes sense.
needed. You know
You're
what
like,
I mean?
oh, I'm needed.
I'm needed. I gotta drop everything.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Needed for the right reasons, for the right causes.
Yeah.
No, you call me and it's like you need me. Yeah, gotcha. Easy. But we've built to that.
People have to prove themselves, and so
to a degree, you do.
And people are not having to. They're just like, I love you, I love you, love you, and they're feeding into that.
And more people have to have higher expectations.
Yeah.
If you have a higher expectation for yourself, and that person can meet that expectation, then you can start setting bars for each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think I'm so glad I have a short fuse for being a fixer because I like helping and I do like to hear the, oh, thank you so much. Like, I want to change people's lives as in the smallest of range,
Look,
whatever.
you see his teeth?
Ew.
You see
Ew.
his teeth? I love them. I like dentistry. All that shit wasn't a thing in my family. Not that often at all. It wasn't. It was not a thing. Whew. You see? You like that?
You're
Oh,
so
beautiful,
ugly.
beautiful. You like that? I love it.
So I like that because I'm a healer. I
Yeah.
feel like I want to help, but
They
I
say
have
that about
short
cancers, right?
I have short patience though. That's why though most of my relationships, like those 5 relationships, had the other four or 4, 5, 6 months,
You had to
and
duke it
not
out, huh?
yeah, most of them was like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work.
Nigga said, stay in there.
Yeah, like no, I have short patience. There's a couple that was like, okay, that it wasn't ending because of the fixing thing, but a lot of them were
The
like,
ones that were based off of that after you realize it. In
yeah, I was
retrospect, you're
like,
like,
yeah,
oh
I got
yeah.
to get out of here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I feel bad for people who don't, where they stay in, like you said, like for years. I don't
Yeah.
know how that, because I feel like a piece of me would just be taken and I'll be jaded, and I
Yeah.
don't want. I could end up bringing that into another relationship, and I wouldn't want to. So
That's usually what happens. Is that
yeah,
other people when you go into the other relationship after being with that, the fixer or whatever, or and that fails, you take the past transgressions of that person and just plow it on that
yeah,
other person. If there is like the slightest misstep in that direction, it may not even be like in that direction. You might perceive it as such, but that's gonna like fire off an alarm. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I think you need to kind of think within and be like, okay, I'm not gonna bring this into another relationship. It's okay to help people. It doesn't always have to be, oh, you're trying to get some money out of me. Oh, you think I'm gonna be doing this and this and this for you. It don't gotta be that. We're
Yeah,
here to help each other. We're
yeah,
human. We're gonna
definitely.
help each other. If you needed $5 right now, I'm gonna be like, dang, you ain't got $5, but yeah, I got your $5. I'll do that though. I do get mad. I'd be like, dang, where your money go? But
Yeah, where your
here,
money at?
but here, I'm gonna do that. But I think some people do that. They will have a bad experience
Yeah,
and they'll
yeah.
be like, nope, I'm not doing shit for you. We got to help each other out. That's how we
Yes.
also learn how to trust each other too.
Exactly. You're building so much at that point. Once you get past, I feel like everybody does go through at least a fixer, unless you found your true love. You know what I mean? Like
Period.
early or some type of shit. But like most people go through at least a fixer or fixie or whatever type of
Hmm.
situation. And then when you get out of it, you realize, at least you should realize, like where you need to grow.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That's ultimately the thing. Because then when you get with that other person, it becomes an easier and better project. You know
I
what I'm
was gonna
saying?
ask that, like, because I know the relationship before me, you were fixing for some years. So how did it feel to feel like you were not fixing, so to
Uh,
speak?
it was good. It was good because it came with actual like security, and the want was authentic.
Okay, it
The
wasn't feeling
want
like
for
it was
me and the need for me
wasn't like a
was authentic.
transactional kind of
It doesn't
thing.
feel transactional. It hasn't ever really felt
Yeah.
transactional ever.
It feels like a sigh of relief when you're like, oh, okay, so this person has their shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to help. We're gonna help each other.
You know what
You
becomes
know.
transactional? The things for like between us and the kids. That becomes transactional. Maybe we get something for us, maybe we don't because we have to do it for the kids. And it's
Hmm.
usually but everything else is just it coalesces. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it it's so much easier when you get to the point where you switch that word from fixer or fixed or fix whatever to building or
Yeah.
built or renovating or whatever the case
Yeah,
may
because
be.
when those relationships with fixers for sure, and like, oh, I'm not gonna spend the rest of my life with these. I'm not gonna be a fixer in a long term relationship for
Yeah,
me. It was like I'm gonna build in my marriage and
definitely.
someone I'm gonna be serious. Yeah, like you said, we're gonna go through some fixers, and I think helps us all grow and be like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't have this and this and this. And it's okay to have that list.
yeah.
Make sure it's like reasonable.
Oh yeah, make sure like the goal can be met.
Yeah, don't have these unrealistic expectations for a partner that no one can reach, because then
And
you're gonna
also
find
you
yourself
can't
alone.
reach.
Yeah, you can't. You too.
You
Yeah,
can't internally get to and all that.
yeah, because
Yeah.
you're like, I want them to have this, 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 and this, and this. Like,
What do you bring to the table?
you got a GED, you got a putt putt, you
A
barely
putt
got a
putt,
job. Yeah, so you have
a
to make sure
jalopy.
you got to make sure that the list not only it reflects you,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
so don't make it unrealistic, and
absolutely.
make sure to be, I guess, open minded and not think that you're gonna be fixing everybody if you come from bad. Because you said you
Yeah.
went for years.
Oh yeah.
So
It
I can only
was.
imagine being like, oh God, I hope I'm not fixing the next person. I hope I'm not drawing in another person who
There
needs to be
was
fixed.
a lot of that in like when I was dating, and like that was like the flings and shit, right? And then that narrowed down a bunch of the stuff where I was like, okay, I know exactly what I want.
And you have to be mindful, and that is good to maybe even write down a list because sometimes you're like, oh, why am I doing this for this person? Well, how do you know you're not drawing those people in? You're
Yeah,
not attracting people that you need to fix.
you could be a fucking magnet for that type of
Yeah,
shit. Yeah,
because you're like, I'm the man or I'm the woman. I got this, I got that, and then you want somebody who you can be a little bit more dominant over, and they might not have the things that you have, so now you're gonna have to help them.
yeah,
So that's the thing.
yeah. You're right.
Will you have any last words about fixers, fixer uppers?
Oh man, that was a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun doing that
Don't be a fixer
one.
anymore, you guys.
Yeah, get out of there.
Get out
Don't
of
need to
there.
hear that. Get out of there.
That's what I'm saying. 4, 5, 6 months, and I was like, yeah, red flags going off, and I'm out.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So, you guys, remember we drop our new episodes every Friday on all streaming platforms, wherever you listen to your pods.
Yep.
And our visuals will be on YouTube every Sunday morning.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah. That one was awesome.